You may be seated. Well, it may have taken 2 additional months and some extra planning, but we finally made it. And before we get started, I'd like to do some quick thank yous to those individuals who have been instrumental in allowing us to have this ceremony here today. First of all, to Katie Perkle, my assistant and right hand, and sometimes my left hand, for all of her work behind the scenes. To my teammates, Associate Principals Josh Kerr, Jessica Scher, and Jamie Kepp. To Bill Surdick, Jerry Williams, Marcos Galindo, and the entire WSD maintenance staff for going above and beyond in our preparations for today. And finally to Carol Quest and the Watertown Health Department, along with Captain Kaminsky and the Watertown Police Department. The planning and preparation of recognizing the class of 2020 in a safe manner has truly been a collaborative effort rooted in community partnerships, and I am grateful for the time and energy of all associated with facilitating tonight's ceremony. With that in mind, let's do this. Yeah! As I'm sure you have missed since March. Greetings, students, faculty, and staff. Today is Friday, August 14th, and it is indeed a great day to be a Gosling. Graduation is my favorite event of the year, an event which our seniors have been looking forward to for a while. Unfortunately, the world has been dealt a global pandemic which delayed this day and has also caused numerous other changes. Now, change can be hard, but change is how we grow. Mr. Mertens would tell you that you can't get faster by running the same distance and pace each day, just like Mr. Cashin would affirm that you can't get stronger by lifting the same weight over and over again. You need to make your body adapt to change to realize growth. And in this sense, change can successfully evoke other changes. Of course, we have to be flexible, and of course, the wind has blown my speech into different orders, as has been the case with so many things. The changes experienced by the class of 2020 over the last 4 years pale in comparison to the sense of loss experienced this past spring. None of us could have predicted that we had left school for the last time on Friday, March 13th, and I'm sure that date does little to quell those of us who are superstitious. The global pandemic wiped out spring sports and activities, third trimester courses that we were eagerly anticipating, prom, mass band, concerts, scholarship night, art walk, the last day of school, the last bell signaling the start of summer, the last bell signaling the end of your high school career. And that list goes on and on and on. As frustrating and disappointing as this past spring was, this surely was not the first time, nor will it be the last, that your expectations have been unrealized. You will find that unrealized expectations will continue throughout your lives. Soon, perhaps even currently, you may find yourself in a school that you're not crazy about, a job that is unfulfilling, a program of study that no longer matches your interests, a relationship that is not rooted in love and respect, or a long-awaited beach vacation in which it rains every single day. Now, disappointment and unrealized expectations can go hand in hand if you let them. So my advice to you is don't. Overcome those unrealized expectations with resilience. Resilience is our ability to adapt and bounce back when things don't go as planned. Pretty much the last 5 months. Resilient people don't wallow or dwell on challenges. They acknowledge them. They learn from the experience and they move forward. And in fact, according to the research of a leading psychologist, Susan Kobasa, there are 3 elements that are essential to resilience. The first is challenge. Resilient people view difficulty as a challenge and an opportunity for growth. Commitment. Resilient people are committed to their lives and their goals, including their relationships, their friendships, and the causes that they care about. And finally, personal control. Resilient people spend their time and their energy focusing on situations and events that they have control over. Resilient people never think of themselves as victims. They focus their time and energy on changing the things that they have control over. Class of 2020, you should have the courage to go after your dreams. Being resilient means that when you do fail or experience disappointment, you bounce back and you can move on to bigger and better things. This will be important now more than ever. Your expectations of what college, the military, or the workforce will be like may not be the same as they have been in the past, at least not right away. Our new normal may not feel very normal at all. But I am confident that the cumulative effect of your experience over the last 4 years have prepared you for the challenges that lie ahead. I would like to close my remarks with the following thought. Seniors, when life gets challenging in the days, months, and years ahead, and trust me, it will, do yourself a favor. Own it. Don't allow yourself to be a victim of unrealized expectations. Instead, be resilient. No excuses, no justifications, no blaming, no quitting. Just pick your head up and get to work. Take ownership for your actions. Problem solve maturely. Treat others with dignity and respect. And by all means, look out for one another. Because, of course, that is the Watertown way. Thank you. At this time, I would ask that you please rise for the playing of our national anthem. One of the themes that you have heard already and will continue to hear tonight is our need to be flexible and to adapt. And in recent days, we have had some changes that have taken place with regards to individuals who were to be a part of this ceremony and are no longer able to attend. So you will see a bit of a change with regards to the program if you are following along. With that in mind, it is my privilege to introduce Mr. Chris Kemp for the commencement address.
Good evening. I'd like to thank the graduation committee for inviting me to speak to you today. It is an opportunity that I accept with a deep sense of honor and humility. Ms. Perkle told me to keep it under 5 minutes. All I can say, Katie, is that I tried really hard. I suppose you students are expecting a joke, right? So let's get it out of the way. What's the difference between mashed potatoes and pea soup? Anybody can mash potatoes. In recent weeks, I have had the true pleasure of attending several of your graduation parties. When those invitations first started coming in, I was conflicted. Should I go? Will it be safe? After doing some serious soul searching, hand-wringing, and general neurotic fussing, I came to the conclusion that I had to go to as many of these celebrations as I possibly could. I had to go for you. I had to go for healing. I had to go for normalcy. It was one small way of making the world right for you. And to be sure, while I did it for you, I did it for me as well. I was indeed truly comforted by once again being able to see your smiling faces, talk with you, your friends, and your families. For the rest of my life, I will remember walking into Maddie Sloan's graduation party and having Maddie greet me with a huge smile, a non-socially distanced hug, and saying simply, "Mr. Kemp, I've missed you." 5 words. 5 words, which, given the circumstance, were the most heart-wrenching yet affirmational 5 words any student has ever said to me. Thank you, Maddie. I know I speak for all of you, your family and friends, the faculty and staff of the Watertown Unified School District, and the entire community of Watertown, when I say that we grieve for what happened to your final trimester. Typically, at occasions like this, I would say in closing that as you move on to the next chapter of your life, we will miss you. But as a result of this surrealness, as Maddie so profoundly and poignantly pointed out, we've already missed you. And while grieving is a natural and necessary part of life, it must be part of a healing process and not the final product. I implore you, please do not let grief define your class. We must not allow COVID-19 to be the defining event for the class of 2020. You have achieved far too much. You have made too many lifetime friends. You've learned too many life lessons. You've loved, laughed, and cried too much to allow COVID to be anything more than just an antipathetic chapter in an otherwise amazing and beautiful book. A book, to be sure, that is still being written. It is true that yours will be a generation forevermore known, as many generations in the past have been known, as a before and after crisis generation. 20 years ago, it was 9/11. 50 years ago, it was the Civil Rights Movement and the war in Vietnam. 80 years ago, World War II. For my generation, it was the mullet. Thank God we recovered from it, and so too shall you. I read recently that 49% of 2020 high school graduates have changed their post-secondary plans due to the pandemic. 36% say they will now work. 32% have postponed the start date for going to school. And 16% have changed their career path altogether. In many cases, this was obviously expected and unavoidable. Fear of the future has never been more palpable. Uncertainty breeds a sweltering anxiety, and pumping the brakes seems like a completely rational, albeit reflexive, response. But inasmuch as humanly possible and practically feasible, I ask that you please try to stay the course of your hopes and dreams. You are not fated to live as heirs to this pandemic. You are not fated at all. Though it may very well feel as if the world has suddenly become an anguishing minefield, always remember that COVID-19 is an external locus of control. In philosophy, some of you may recall, we call them externalities. And today they include, among others, the pandemic, a toxic political climate, the expectations heaped on us by the mass media and popular culture, and the utter ubiquity and often negativity of social media. All of those externalities that we cannot control, but that will serve to render us puddles of incapacitated angst, but only if we allow them to define us. Thankfully, as human beings, we are blessed with a stronger and more inherently positive internal locus of control. That very human quality that we are blessed with a that very human quality that allows us to control our fate. Machiavelli called it virtù, the ability to shape one's own destiny. Today, I'll finish by calling it something much simpler. Today, I'll call it hope. Our hope in and for you, of course, but more importantly, now more than ever, your hope in yourselves, each other, and the future. I think it's a mistake to look for hope outside of yourself. At this time of your life, in the world of today, you must use hope, your hope, as a weapon, a sword with which to defend yourself against what otherwise may seem like insurmountable barricades erected to keep your dreams at bay. Hope must be your beacon, the lighthouse of your dreams. As Aristotle so succinctly stated, hope is a waking dream. So please, take a minute and conjure up your single greatest hope in life. Your dream. Take just a moment during this ceremony and allow your dream to rise to the surface of your consciousness, to wake. And then, while it's there, promise yourself that it will not fall victim to those things over which you have no control. Promise yourself. I beg of you, please find the hope within yourselves, because I know I speak for every person in this stadium when I say you are all the hope within all of us. Thank you very much.
It is customary to recognize the valedictorians of Watertown High School, and it is my pleasure to mention that we had 6 valedictorians for the Watertown High School class of 2020. Based on the number of ceremonies that we're having and individual circumstances, I am going to recognize all 6 valedictorians at this time, and if you are present, I would ask that you please stand to be recognized. Mia Ashenfelter, Brian Frank, Evelyn Marchant, Ryan Mitchell, Anna Schrader, and Cara Smith. Mia, Brian, Evelyn, Ryan, Anna, and Cara. To commemorate each of your efforts and to honor you, each of you will receive a plaque which acknowledges you as the class of 2020 valedictorian. Identical plaques will hang on our academic wall of fame located in the Commons. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Having met the academic and behavioral requirements of the faculty of Watertown High School, and on behalf of the entire faculty, I, as principal of Watertown High School, nominate and recommend these individuals from the class of 2020 to Dr. Cassandra Shug, Superintendent for the Watertown Unified School District, for graduation from Watertown High School. It is my pleasure to introduce and present the class of 2020 to Dr. Cassandra Shug.
It is my great pleasure to address the graduating class of 2020 this evening. I would like to begin by recognizing our Watertown Unified School District Board of Education members who are in attendance this evening. Please stand when I call your name. Doug Will, Board Vice President Jennifer Bakke, and Board President Tony Arnett. This year, we are celebrating 327 graduates. And graduates, you have many accomplishments that have been a source of great pride to your family, your school, and your community. And they should be a source of great pride to you as well. This year, as Mr. Loss noted, we have 6 valedictorians. 38 of you have served as members of the National Honor Society. 16 of you are members of the National Technical Honor Society, and 26 of you are members of our World Language Honor Societies. 16 of you are members of the National Art Honor Society, and 30 of you serve in Tri-M Music Honor Society. 7 of you are members of the Division I State Runner-Up Academic Decathlon Team, and 3 of you have received Skills USA honors, and 1 of you, Mia Aschenfelter, is also a global scholar. While this year has presented truly unique challenges, and it is undoubtedly not how you imagined you would end your high school experiences, over the past 4 years, you have shared many positive experiences here at Watertown High School. You have participated in student council, have spoken at Rotary, performed in plays, musicals, band, choral, and orchestra concerts. You have competed and performed at the regional, state, and sometimes even the national level in co-curricular activities and athletics. You have been recipients of hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships to continue your education, and you have traveled the world from Europe to the Galapagos Islands. You have logged hundreds of volunteer hours, and you have given back to your community. 43 of you are graduating with honors today. 40 of you will graduate with high honors, and 38 of you are graduating with honors with distinction. That's a grade point average of 3.8 or above. Congratulations. Several members of your class have made the decision to serve our country as part of our armed forces. If we have any graduates in attendance that have made the choice to serve in our military, would you please stand at this time to be recognized? Thank you. We know that some of our students have had to leave before our graduation date to begin their basic training. Please know we recognize all of our students, present or not, for the choice to serve. At this time, if we have any family members who are here tonight who have served in the military or are first responders, I would ask that you please stand at this time to also be recognized. Your service is appreciated, and first responders, we know you have been especially tasked during this pandemic, and we thank you for the work you do to keep us all safe. Congratulations, graduates, on your past successes. You have faced extraordinary circumstances. use those experiences to create a new definition of what is possible for you. Take on the seemingly impossible challenges that you may face. Surround yourself with loved ones and find work that is both impactful and fulfilling. So again, Goslings, congratulations on your past successes. Your congratulations are well-deserved, but more important, I cannot wait to see and celebrate your future successes, because while graduation is the end of something, more importantly, it is the start of something new. Board President Mr. Arnett and other distinguished members of the Board of Education, the students before us have completed the requirements for a Watertown High School diploma, as set forth by the Board of Education and the state of Wisconsin. As superintendent of schools and on behalf of the faculty, staff, and administration, it is my great and sincere pleasure to present to you the graduates of the Watertown High School class of 2020. At this time, Ms. Scher will be reading the name of our graduates.
Zachary Schmidt. Joseph S.W. Raw. Braden M. Walter. Trevor M. Stanton. Honors. Griffin T. Radke. Honors. Anthony N. Smith. High Honors. Sabrina Jean Tim. High Honors. Regan E. Wolf.
Nice job, Reagan.
Aliyah M. Schlender. Emma E. Zwig. High Honors. Madison G. Randall. Honors with Distinction.
Way to go, Maddie.
Hannah R. Stubblefield. Honors. Wilhelmina Nell Zastro. Honors with Distinction. Lillian M. Schwartz. High Honors. Autumn Verfuth. Hannah Voigt. Brooklyn M. Risto. Ariana Chiara Carolina Quintero. Honors. Sydney A. Rodriguez. Honors with Distinction. Julie E. Walter. Honors. Ashley Grace Zietlow. Honors with Distinction. Kira Angeline Schlichting. High Honors. Angelo Dominguez. Devin J. Ramos. Jose A. Rivera, Jr. Joel J. Otto. Madison Simon. Cecilia Rintz. Liberty Angela Tews. Madeline Scheiber. Cody H. Steimke. Dylan M. Snowdy. Logan G. A. Smith. Andrew Robert Donald Goodall. Jaden Westenberg, High Honors. Dominic J. Strohmeyer. William Christopher Shaker, Honors. Joshua Lee Teska. Andrea N. Teets. Brianna Rose Tester, Honors. Derek Roeder, Honors. Zachary Zubke, Honors. Isabel R. Schauer, High Honors. Corey M. Stoss. Justice A. Wandersee, Honors. Jennifer Y. Rodriguez. Madison Emma Sloan, Honors with Distinction. Danielle Ann Weisenreiter, Honors with Distinction. Maria Fernanda Ruiz Cardenas, Honors. Megan Mary Woodward, High Honors. Cara M. Smith, Honors with Distinction, Valedictorian. Morgan Wenninger. Kylie E. Rudolph. Connor Vincent Vella. Joselle S. Roberts. Haley M. Wesolowski. Tatum May Henderson. Kaylee Sem, Honors. Amy Villarreal. Amadeus D. Winchell. Hunter Stefan Schroeder. Aurora Odell Scott. Michaela J. Stello. Thomas P. Van Zanten. Edward Wilkowski. The class of 2020 also included the following graduates who were not able to attend tonight. Christian Narvez. Sarah Suzanne Radloff. Nathaniel James Raynard. Ian J. Rowe. Maria Guadalupe Santamanes, Honors. Guadalupe M. Sarmiento. McKenna Christine Schmidt. Anna Christine Schroeder, Honors with Distinction, Valedictorian. Hannah Sevens. Joshua Slayton. Aaron R. Slim, Jr. Allison Stair, Honors with Distinction. Sophia Jean Stevens, honors with distinction. Savannah Christine Stevens. Cameron R. J. Strike. Dylan Strode. Henry J. Strupp. Christian Stuber. Ryota N. Suyama. Jonathan Anthony Tang. Christian Randall Teets, honors with distinction. Brandon C. Timmel. Ray James Tobias, Jr. Timothy Noah Traub. Jada Elizabeth Trurin. Carson W. Icky, honors. Roni Valadez, Jr. Charles Van Norman, high honors. Yvonne A. Velez Trujillo. Jonathan Howard Vesper. Alejandro A. Viedma. Moises Villas Gonzalez. Alexis Tierra Willems Salam. Zachary William Wagers. Keely Wagner. Christopher Joseph Walther. Ashley Elaine Wasley. Jason Wex. Whitney Sloan Wickman, honors with distinction. Marnie Wickert, honors with distinction. Donald G. Williams III. Connor Wilson. Walker J. Woline. Weston A. Woline. Jacob J. Zacharias. Natalie Rosemary Zeller, honors with distinction. Madeline Elizabeth Zimmerman. Andrew C. Zipfel. Taylor J. Zellick. At this time, will the graduating class of 2020 please join me in the tradition of turning your tassel to recognize that you have received your diploma and are a Watertown High School graduate. Please move your tassel from right to left.
At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Riley Capel for the farewell address.
Well, here we all are, all in one spot, together for one last time. Tonight is about us. Tonight we reflect on our past 12 years of education, the late night cram before a test, the countless hours of studying, the good times we spent with friends, our first day of high school, and so much more. We've looked forward to this day for as long as we can remember, and now we're finally here. We started off senior year just as we expected, our last year in high school, making memories with the people that we care about, having fun, and planning for the future. But as we know better than anyone else, these things were taken from us in an instant. We had our last day of high school without even knowing it. Overnight, we lost our teachers, our classroom, our prom, our last season on the field, state competitions, and countless other things. However, we did not let this stop us. We are still seniors. This is still our moment. During these hard times, we demonstrated that we are innovators, thinkers, and problem solvers. From living room proms to FaceTiming friends, we proved that if we can overcome a global pandemic, we can overcome anything. That is exactly what this world needs right now. Hardworking, determined individuals that will stand up for the greater good. However, these traits did not start here. This has been 18 years in the making. We were born into a world freshly scared, confused, and hurt by the 9/11 attacks. We have never known our country when it hasn't been at war overseas. We grew up fearing that if we enter movie theaters, concerts, or schools, we could leave with bullet wounds. We have watched our country learn these lessons time after time, and yet they continue to happen. We have watched the many classes before us graduate and have their moment, but our moment was instantly stopped by an invisible enemy. We may have shown stress and confusion initially, but in the back of our head, we knew that we were made for this. One day, we were just average high school students, and the next, we were essential workers on the front lines of a global pandemic. Put that on your resume. We managed 3 months of schoolwork, our jobs, friends and families, and our communities from the comfort of our own homes. We have helped change the definition of the word hero. We know that real heroes don't wear capes, and now we get to be heroes. I'm standing here in front of future doctors, lawyers, soldiers, police officers, firefighters, paramedics, teachers, politicians, scientists, and the list continues. We are the world's future leaders. When I think of the class of 2020, I'm reminded of a quote from an author that we all love. In his book, The Lorax, Dr. Seuss wrote this: "Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not." This is our anthem. We have shown that if they don't change the world for us, we will change the world for them. We know that in this world, it takes all kinds of kinds. We have and will continue to push forward. Every generation has their defining moment, yet our generation doesn't let these moments define us. We learn something from it and then prepare for the next big thing. We continue to go through collective experiences that will only leave a mark on us. We know the power of a movement led by an entire generation because we are that generation. We will leave a mark on this world. We will be the defining generation. We will not define these moments by what we lost. We will define them how we handle and overcome them. Now, you probably won't remember me or my speech in 10 years, but you will never forget these significant events. The world is ours now, so let's show them what we got. The world has changed, and we will determine how we will move on. We will forever hold on to the many hardships, memories, and laughs that we have experienced, and we look forward to many more. I don't know what the future holds, but I know we will face whatever comes our way head on, and we won't back down. We are only entering into adulthood, and we already know this. We are taking charge of our own lives, deciding what is important to us, what our political beliefs are, who we want to spend the rest of our lives with, and so much more. The future is no longer promised, so we must make, break, and form traditions. This pandemic taught us that we cannot stand divided. We need to listen to others, respect everyone, give people their personal space, never forget to connect with the people we care about, reflect, and never take things for granted. We may have to mask our face, but we cannot mask our determination. These are lessons that we won't soon forget. The world will not let us forget, because the entire world is watching the class of 2020. Whether we like it or not, we are the chosen ones. We must and have accepted the unknown. We might not have all the answers, and the future may be uncertain, but we are ready for anything. We know it, our community knows it, our country knows it, and our world knows it. Now go and build your future. Thank your teachers and mentors. Make the world a better place, and never forget where you came from. And always remember that unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. Now, graduates, at this time, I ask that you stand, turn, and face the audience. Friends and family, it is my great honor to present to you the Watertown High School graduating class of 2020. Thank you all for coming. Audience members, please remain in your seats until the graduates have left the stadium. Thank you.